Everything happens in slow motion. The train's speed, our rhythm, the closing of our eyes, and the breeze that hits us. The train hollers past as we attain our spasmodic climax. We open our eyes to realize we are still alive. The train was on the track beside us. There was silence. "That's how," she continued, "I wanted to take you." She finally paused. The person on the other side was breathing heavily, as if he was still caught in the scene she had described. "You there?" she asked. "I want to meet you, right now," he said, swallowing a lump. He had never come across someone as wildly erotic as her. "Are you sure?" she asked. "Yes." "Remember, not every orgasm is about pleasure. I don't give a fuck." "All right, then come claim me, the way a warrior claims a kingdom." The line went dead. He thought he was getting into a casual affair. He was wrong. Very, very wrong. Part 1. Seduce. India Habitat Center, New Delhi, 6th February 2016. Saturday, 6:30 p.m. The stage was set. The PR and marketing team from the publishing house was present at the venue an hour before to supervise the arrangements. A few media personnel were also present, with their cameramen setting up equipment at the appropriate angles. There was an elevated wooden stage with a huge projector in the middle. 2 chairs were placed in front of the projector, along with a table in between. 1 chair was for the moderator and 1 was for the star of the evening. The table had a neatly made bouquet of red roses, 2 mineral water bottles, 2 copies of the box set of the trilogy, and 2 mics. The projector displayed a huge image of the book cover with the heading, "Meet Kiyan Roy, the best-selling author of the sensational erotic trilogy, Handcuffs." The initial print run of the first book had been 20,000. For a debut author attempting erotica, which has always been a prejudiced genre in India, it had been a decent print run. By the time the 3rd book in the trilogy came out, the series had sold over 60,000 copies. Kiyan wasn't the highest-selling author in India yet, but the way his debut series had caught on with readers and non-readers alike was something that made him an author to watch out for. One of the reasons for the constant intrigue about the author himself was the fact that Kiyan was a social recluse. In this age of marketing and hype, where people seldom tell stories but mostly sell them, Kiyan was an exception. Since the trilogy had come out, no reader had seen the writer behind the books. There was no photograph of him on the books or on the internet. His social media was handled by the publisher's marketing team, and hence his and the trilogy's Facebook pages, Twitter handles, and Instagram accounts were all about the books and nothing about him as a person. This made him all the more desirable to his female fan following. The men who read the trilogy learnt new ways to barter their horniness for maximum pleasure with their partners, while the women found exciting fantasies to escape to when reality in the bedroom with their husbands or boyfriends bored them. And now, at the India Habitat Center, the readers were going to see for the first time the author who had given Indian readers a new subtext to the ever-so-hushed language of sex. The publishing house wasn't initially sure how well the trilogy would sell. As someone once said, a book is a creative proposition till the author finishes it. After that, it is business. The publishing house had wanted to experiment with erotica to determine if it had a future as a genre in the contemporary Indian market, especially if it was written by an Indian. A couple of books that they had previously presented to readers as erotica had failed miserably. What Kiyan had done differently with his trilogy was to charge his writing with emotion rather than use it as an excuse to garb vulgarity. This was the publishing house's final shot at the genre written by an Indian. As in the case with most writing, even mediocre erotica by a foreign writer is mostly welcome, but gems by native writers need to undergo the test of acceptance. In Kiyan Roy, the publishers had finally found India's answer to E.L. James and Sylvia Day. When they realized there was a buzz around the author and his work, they managed to convince Kiyan to go on a sponsored multi-city